GameStop stands out from the rest, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Bitcoin soaring high, Ryan Cohen leading the way, working for free, investing his own pay. The media scoffs and sneers, underestimating his power to steer. But watch as he turns the tide with determination on his side. They doubted his disability, but he's proven them wrong with humility. Buying shares with his own hands, transforming GameStop's lens. The skeptics may doubt and jeer, but Ryan Cohen has no fear. He'll show the world what he can do and lead GameStop to something new. So raise a Glen to the underdog, for he will rise above the fog with iron in his heart and fire in his soul. Ryan Cohen will reach his goal. GameStop is different, that much is clear. With Ryan Cohen at the helm, there's nothing to fear. So let the media laugh and sneer, for GameStop's future is bright and near. They bet against us, thought we'd fall, but Cohen's got the plan for all. From bricks to clicks, we're building strong, the underdog singing this victory song. In the shadows of Wall Street's towering might, GameStop stood small, ready to side. Big funds laughed, said it's all over now, but the underdog rose. What if they bow? Who cares if they short the stock? Let them short, we'll turn the clock. With diamond hands, we
All right. How's everyone? Oh, Matt, what's up? And then we have Lynn. What's up? What's up? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Not much happening. I don't know why I've been kind of on a hiatus. Kind of what is it? Hibernating a little bit. A lot of information out there, you guys, like got caught up in the whole Charlie Kirk thing and all that stuff too. So yeah, have a few opinions out there, but it's okay, whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of opinions out there. You guys could go and listen for those. But I did watch the memorial. Few things I would say, of course, my emotional part was Erica Kirk. But yeah, so I applaud her for having that courage. And my other opinion is that I feel like people are just exploiting her grief and his strategy to just advance their own end. And I just don't think that's right. But if Erica is okay, I mean, she's pretty strong. Like her. I hope. I hope she'll be supported in whatever endeavor she's going to embarked on next. But anyway, so that's all I was gonna say. I mean, as a woman myself, obviously, I cannot put myself in that situation. So I would not be like, see, even me talking about this, like, very emotional already. So I wouldn't be able to get a word out in that sense. So, but I'm a bit sensitive, like lots of sensitivity. Anyway, just an introduction. Sorry about that you have to listen to the opinions. But this is an opinion base, right? Financially, I feel like, because of the rate, lowering rates, the Fed has already kind of cut the rates. I feel like, the financial condition is easing up a little bit more, which, again, embolden people to, I guess, feel a little bit of ease. But perhaps the ease of financial condition is a bit kind of like, I guess people are still scared of investing in risk assets, so to speak. And this is why you probably see Bitcoin's kind of going down on the price action there. But a lot of liquidation a couple of days ago, as you could see right there. You could see immediately, a lot, I guess, 1 point something billion was liquidated on the long side. So again, this is what happened, you guys, when the ledger is out there for market maker to see what position or what, where's the liquidity, they're going to go hunt it, right? So again, it's nothing new, you guys. Like, so because of a lot of leverage in the system, they have to slush it out for sure, right? And, people who have the ability to take that advantage, they're going to dump the underlying asset in order to scare people to close their position or liquidate them, push them out of their position for longing. You've heard about like 50x, 100x time the money and all that stuff. So a lot of leverage like that, like crazy gambling type of situation here. But again, this on the underlying asset as a Bitcoin, as an asset in and of itself is not gambling, so to speak. It still is speculative asset, though. You guys, like, yes, it's becoming more and more mainstream now. You've heard about Fidelity and who just joined. But again, there's so many announcements out there. But the industry itself is becoming more and more accepted as an industry to push out to the masses now, right? So again, not to say that you won't be able to, make any money because now it's all mainstream. No, you're still very early. If you look at how many people are actually owning Bitcoin, you're still in the top 2% in the world. you know. So just show how early you are, into this. Volatility will still be there, but just be careful, because in this environment, you could really, go all in on some coin, and then you're like, oh my god, like this! I thought this is going to be the next Bitcoin. There's always the next Bitcoin, and there's always the next GME, right? You could say that. They just want to, make sure that you be so antsy, you can't sit in one position. I'm guilty of it myself too, you guys, but thank goodness I have a little bit of knowledge in crypto space, so I'm not, so readily to be like, oh, it must be this coin or this coin or whatever. It's like the next best thing and all that stuff. And I'm not claiming to know the next best thing. All I know is that there's a certain, utility coins that I've been holding for the past 7 years. And, that's been my position for a long time. Now with Bitcoin, I do have some, an amount in which I'm like, if I forget about it for 10 years, I'll be fine, right? So in that sense, I'm not going to cash out on that one because I've learned, throughout my investing endeavor that long-term based minded thinking is a lot better. But yes, not to say that it's no fun to, if you want to do options or learn to do that, that's on you. I would hope that you learn first before you, jump into doing that. Like when I hear people, hey, I bought call and then I don't know what to do next. What should I do? Then, you already lost the game, right? That's what the title of this stream is all about, is that you might lose the game. Right? Now, there's another reference to I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But yeah, is there a more downside to this run? I don't know. I just feel like, we've hit that level already where I feel like, this is the last all-time high, right? From the second best all-time high. So this could be the support that we are seeing right now at the moment. Now, tomorrow we might hear some bad news a little bit to drop it out and then fake people out and then coming back like that. Now, with all of the good news that you see about Bitcoin and, reserves or every single companies now are integrated in some way, shape or form. Apple just give you the ability to send Bitcoin through chat, live chat or whatever. So you could check on that. I don't have Apple, so I don't know how that works. But it just again shows that the industry is becoming more mature, and there's a lot more interaction, transaction, and all that stuff. So again, the more interaction, the better for this industry, right? So. And the fact that GME has Bitcoin, it's also another, technology that people is not really understand it yet until they have created a lot of value in terms of again, it's a saving technology, right? You could say, you could think of it as that, right? Because with the inflation and the fact that the Federal Reserve is going to lower the rate, that means the inflation is going to run hot. Now, they're not beating the inflation yet, you guys. The inflation is still way above 2% here, right? That's the official number that they're telling you. It's not 2%, you guys. You know that. Look at your grocery bill. You think it's 2% more or less? Or less, whatever. It's always 2% more or more like 10% on some items, right? I know for a fact my insurance went up by 10% this year. So it's not 2%, okay? Now, I know the certain things is down, in terms of oil. There's no inflation to be counted. Like rent, for example, I guess month to month of what or is not too bad, but that's probably a larger problem on the housing market. So that's probably why the rent is not, increasing, because they couldn't have anyone, they couldn't get anyone to rent at that particular price anymore, right? And on top of that, the value of the house, the price of the house is way too high, so people are not able to buy a house. The rate is too high, but again, remember, the Federal Reserve flat rate doesn't really influence the mortgage, because again, at some point there's a disconnect, right? Just because the Federal Reserve lower the rate doesn't mean that the mortgage rate is going to come down either. So, with the expectation that, hey, perhaps the bond market, if the rate's going up in price when the Federal Reserve lower the rate, that's usually, the market is probably right because they're expecting a little bit more inflation coming in. When the stock market is all-time high like this, people are fearful. Even Warren Buffett, even Ryan Cohen is not going to make any move at the moment, I feel like, because again, a lot of frothiness in the market. So, even like the people who are, benefited from the stock market going up in price, most of them are already sold out, the people that are in the know. How long ago was Jeff Bezos sell his Amazon share? Billions and tens of billions of dollars at a time. And Nvidia, right, CEO also sold his share as well. So a lot of rich people, they're already preparing for this, but meanwhile they're telling you to buy the S&P 500, right? To just keep passive investing, mindlessly just put it into the S&P 500. And again, this is the day and age in which we're living in right now, where even the people that are managing the money, right, like the top guy, right, they're just too lazy to even pick any stock at all, because number one, they feel like, well, the S&P 500 went up pretty well already, and people are just so happy to even make 25% this year or something like that. So if the index fund goes up so quickly, they don't need to be actively managing your portfolio, and on top of that, it's just like an easy money for them, right? If they were to manage your fund in that sense. Now, for active investor, like people who are actively looking for companies like GME, for example, or even Bitcoin, or even some new technology to revolutionize the whole financial system, you could do that. And even the company that are brave enough to add Bitcoin into their balance sheets. Any type of novelty, I wouldn't say novelty, but any type of risk taken like this is good for the industry, right? Again, like still risky, and still, even at this point, with Bitcoin becoming mainstream, it's still not guaranteed that it's going to go up, right? Because that might be the signal to at least trim some of it, right? It's like one of those things where if everybody's starting to talk about it, this might be the top. Although I still feel that there is a next big leg up to come still. Of course, I'm waiting for that before I put money back into Gamestop in my trading account. Okay, I still have my moon back. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna be a billionaire if GME goes to $10,000. I'll be fine, right? For sure. So I'll be okay. Don't worry, I won't be missing out on that at all. However, the additional share that I want to add if I could time it right. I just feel like they're gonna pump crypto first before they're going to pump GME, because again, GME is under the thumb of these market maker, or I don't know. Again, they have been suppressing it for quite some time, and so, or they're just gonna let it run a little bit at a time and then cover as they go, as slowly as they can, right? And then do it in a little, But again, they could probably cover in the dark pool too. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, a lot of speculation, right? With the warrants that's coming, and whether it's going to be closed, whether it's going to be, the thing that exposed all these synthetic shares. I'm curious myself too, like whether they're going to process it the way that they should. It seems like they do away with the forward split here. I don't know whether there's some rules and regulation that are not allowing them to do that anymore, to process it in a different way than the organization wanted to issue. Okay, or the corporate wish to issue a certain things like dividend, for example. So that's encouraging, right? I don't know. Again, it's up to them to deliver it or give you in-kind deliverance. But the idea about warrants is that it's going to be unique amount, specific amount of warrants that is going to be issued only for shareholders, right? For shorters, obviously, that's going to be scary, because if you're shorting GME shares, you're going to also short a part of warrants as well, the equal amount of, say 10%, right? So if you held your short position until that dividend date, you are adding to your position by 10%. Okay. I don't know. Maybe they do have the money to do that. Whatever collateral that they pose against GME. But I think, again, they could still kick the can down the road. I mean, technically, they probably can. Depends on you guys too, or people who are holding the stock, whether you are going to be, scared out of your position, or trying to trim some here and there and all that stuff. And depends on how many people are doing that. I doubt that anyone who've been holding this stock for a long time, if you're not trading it, are going to just immediately dump the stock at the issuance of warrants. So if the share price come down because they're trying to give people the impression that hey, this quote unquote squeeze is over, look, nothing's happened, right? That theory could happen. Do you think that people would just sell that warrant? It's like, game's over and all that stuff? No, of course not. I just feel like it's going to give an interesting response if the price coming down. I just watched this gentleman. I don't remember his name, but I don't have the video right now. But I think if you're well versed in this, in GME, you probably know this person and know this particular video already. I'm just gonna describe it. I guess he claimed that GME is going through a distribution, the last wave down. So I guess he thinks that it's gonna do this thing, right? And it's not gonna squeeze at the warrant until it hits this low, whatever that means. So I think it's gonna go down to $18 or so, or even around here. I don't know, you guys. Like, even if it goes down to that, you think we're just gonna again, I don't think anyone would sell at this moment in time right now. and people would buy a whole bunch more, just like over here. And that drop, yeah, sure, it could happen. Remember? Let's see. Everybody don't even understand that this is a shakeup, right? Again, institution does this all the time to try to shake you out of a position that you should be holding for a while. Right? If you hold, you will reap the benefit, right? Reap the rewards later. I know, sorry. So again, fractal or whatever, just to scare more people, and then tell people, hey, game's over. Again, the amplitude of this thing might be a little bit different, right? So instead of dropping way down here, or allowing people to buy more, but remember, if the stock market crash, right, which people have been predicting it quite some time. I've been expecting it myself as well. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if there's some drawdown really quick, it could theoretically hit that level. But you think it's going to stay there for a long time, with the amount of people who are very, even the institution out there. You think they're not going to gobble up these shares at this price? Of course they will. And they will be able to own GameStop at a higher percentage than retail, right? So yeah, I mean, retail typically will lose out on this thing because they feel so antsy about something, right? They think that, oh, if I sold it over here, I could buy it at a lower price, right? Yeah, good luck. Good luck if you could time that, right? I would not. To me, I wouldn't. Yeah, but again, it doesn't stop people, you guys. It doesn't stop people. So I'm not naive to think that people are not going to try to do that. But if they do, again, there's many people would just scoop it up anyway. I know I would. So, so I welcome that level. And just so you know, also, I think I talked about this before, but just in case somebody just new to this. But remember, if you buy it over here versus over here, you're technically buying at a higher valuation here, right? Meaning, well, you're safer. Sorry. So if you were to buy, comparing, right? When you buy it over here, the price to equity was 50%. Right now, it's more like, I think it's 80% now. Give or take, again, this is just a rough estimate here. It might be a little bit more than 80%. But you get the point, is that you get more of the company buying it over here, which means that it's less risky for you to buy it over here, okay, than over here, even though the share price is higher, okay? Why? Because since this whole bit here, we have been able to raise the money. The company's doing well, right? Look at the earnings, right? Every single quarter, you see the improvement, and then boom, right? People were expecting, even including me, I thought the revenue was going to be a little bit lower or barely beating the revenue, but we knock it out of the park. And nobody mentioned it. There's a telltale sign. Like, nobody's like, oh my goodness, Jimmy's actually doing this and this. No. They're not doing that. They're waiting on Jimmy to fall. Then they'll report on that. It's like, so the next one, if we come out to be a little bit below, revenue's down, they're going to hold on that. They don't care about how many money per shares that we're actually generating in the company. They don't care about that. They would much rather tell you that it's terrible, right? And again, that the deal is, or as well as I do, that the media does this because they're doing poop and scooping, right? Pooping and scooping, or whatever, poop and scoop. It's a strategy because they want to buy GameStop at a lower price, as as many as they can, and so they distract the masses, so that they could buy as at a lower price as much as possible. Okay, and that's why you see this dip and this drop to trying to scare people away from this, right? But again, listen, we know the game. And I don't think anyone is naive to that anymore. But for people who are still, skeptical about this company, whether it's gonna do something or not, over time, they're gonna become familiar with it when GME is gonna make news and all that stuff. But by that time, you guys, it's too late for you already. Just like, again, when Bitcoin was $16,000 a coin, nobody tells you about it. Nobody scream, this is a great buy. They tell you to sell, for sure, right? It's like, oh, this is speculative and highly speculative. And guess what? I just saw an interview, Tim Cook, saying that he was into Bitcoin years and years and years ago. Where's the video? I'm sure if you have Bitcoin on. Let me try to find it. But it's, these executive, I'm telling you, even Apple too, they don't even have Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Now, when I hear that, I was like, well, I could just hear people say, well, why don't Apple add Bitcoin to their balance sheets, right? If it's so good, right? But why would Tim Cook have any Bitcoin on his personal investment? Well, I get it. Listen, he's a billionaire. Obviously, he did say as part of diversification, right? He didn't tell you how many Bitcoin he has. But, man, I couldn't find it. It's out there somewhere, you guys. Just trust me, okay? Just trust me. I'm sure of you... who's that guy? Sorkin, Andrew Sorkin was the guy who interviewed him. But my point here is that, when CEOs like this are personally holding Bitcoin, but they are unable to convince the board of directors to put Bitcoin on the balance sheets, it's detrimental to their own success, obviously. Like if Apple were to invest on Bitcoin, you have to buy it at this level. Better than later, right? When it's like $1 million a coin or whatever. Then you're gonna have to pay more. But the whole idea is that you want to create shareholder value. Now, for Tim Cook to convince his board to add to balance sheets, he has to, wait on the road and all that stuff, and which is why Jimmy has, reached that hurdle already, because we already have Bitcoin on that balance sheet. So if anything happened to Bitcoin, obviously it could be to the detriment or to the benefit of GME too. But I think the likelihood that Bitcoin is going to zero is very, very low, very low. It might cut down to $90,000 at some point, but I don't think it's going to go below that. Again, you already reach the escape velocity when you reach $100,000 a coin. Right? It's a deep psychological level that anytime it reach below that, people are just going to buy it like crazy, right? Because they see that it's going to reach an all-time high and whatnot. So most of it, again, guys, I'm not saying it's going to go to $1 million tomorrow, okay? I would say in 5 years, you're going to see a lot more value added to this particular industry, for sure, right? I mean, in particular, Bitcoin has been dubbed as a digital gold. So at the very least, we're going to be at least Bitcoin is trying to beat the market cap of gold. Of course, market cap of gold has been increasing Uh, 10 years ago, I used to think, I used to hear people say that it's $8 trillion market cap of gold, whatever. And then, wait, actually, I might have a, hold on, you guys, give me 1 second. Right there. Oh, I think, okay, okay. I don't think it gives you that. Never mind. I thought they would give you a graph or something. Okay, so this is like the entire world asset. Okay, that's $1 quadrillion. That's crazy. But just commodity alone, right? So Bitcoin is like around. It's in this bucket right here, a commodity. It could also be a currency as well, but not really. But you could, think of it as that a portion of it might be counted as a currency because again, you could use it as an exchange of value too. But again, currently, because of the volatility of Bitcoin, people are not going to spend Bitcoin at the moment. But eventually, maybe 100 years from now, when when you and I are gone from this world, well, unless you could live to 300 years, who knows? But so with that, you might be able to send Bitcoin here and there or Satoshi to and from people, right? And then that unit of account, because it's so stable, you're not going to experience any inflation, right? So I don't know what problem that's going to be next for that particular year, 100 years, who knows? Hey, I'm just going to be here for the next, I don't know how long I want to live, but I'm shooting for 100. I'm shooting for that. Who knows? Okay, what am I talking about? Okay, the commodity. Okay, so right now, if you look at the market cap of gold, you see that it is $25 trillion at the moment. 25 trillion is pretty substantial, right? But with Bitcoin, obviously, we're way down here. So we would want to 10x that if we want to, reach the capitalization of gold. Now, when people are telling you that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value and all that stuff, again, those are just like, I guess, misunderstanding. Like, perhaps you want to learn a little bit more. Why it has some at least some value associated with that, not only the network effect that it has, it's the saving technology that, everybody should at least learn about it. Okay. Even Charlie Kirk talk about it too. Like if you're a Charlie Kirk fan, a little bit jab there. So let's see. Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna reach this capitalization for sure. Gonna exceed any of these number one companies out there, right? And then moving up to close to at least the goal. So I'm willing to say around $10 trillion at the moment, right? $8 to $10 trillion. Why? Because if 1% of the world asset is around 800 trillion to $1 quadrillion, right? Then 1% of that would be around 8 to $10 trillion, which is close to 5x from now, 5 to 4x from now, right? I don't think it's far-fetched, you guys. Like it's pretty self-explanatory. It's math. Okay, so this one here, so Bitcoin holding, we still have the same amount from the last time. We did not add any more, which is a little, I wish he adds a little bit more Bitcoin, but or Ethereum or XRP. You know, XRP is doing well as well. So they have been there's a few developments out there that kind of indicating that the Fed is aware of it. They're gonna use it as a bridge currency. So learn about it. I mean, I'm not gonna sway you away from GME at all, but if you want to learn about the other stuff, you can. But again, like as a payment rail too, right? If GME were to have XRP, they could technically use that as a a bridge for exchange. Okay. You could also use that as an opportunity to build a cheaper version of the NFT marketplace. So you would be able to allow people to just, again, commission free. You don't even have to, like, the fee is so low that you could mark up that fee. It's like instead of paying 1 cent per I mean, you could even charge 1 cent and you'll be in profit. Again, that's how crazy the fee for the network is. But and then also eventually it's gonna burn as well. Like the more transaction on the ledger, the better for the ledger. So I've been kind of keep tracking of XRP. This is a little bit about XRP. And it's close to 278 days here. This is 3 days ago, but if you go and look at the token right now, I guarantee you it's going to be less than this. Now, unfortunately, if you take an account for the last 200 days, we only been burning, well, XRP anyway, been only burning 1 million token, which comparing to the whole entire supply, not much of a burning there, right? So we need more activity, okay, for sure. And apparently every single wallet that is, you need a single wallet. I mean, you need wallet to interact with XRP. So every wallet has to lock up a certain amount of XRP, so that also will remove it out of the supply as well. So again, depends on how many people are actually interacting with the network. So we'll determine how much it's going to burn. But currently it's minuscule. Like you can't even count that as a, deflationary. So not yet. Until, you get to burn $100 million token every year or so, then that's significant. But I don't think they're going to do that because, again, if you are transporting trillions of dollars on the network, again, that's just speculation. Depends on how many people are aware of it. It's going to build on it and all that stuff. But I think the opportunity for GameStop is a lot better. I know, like, they're not a technology company and they're not a blockchain company, but because we have so much money, we could, spearhead that, honestly, right? And we already cornered, the, digital open pact. So as an extension of that, I don't see why not do an NFT version of that, where, people could just freely exchanging those value on the XRP ledger. And again, yeah, they could still keep it on the Ethereum Lubring route. They could do that. But I know Ethereum's going to do well as well. But the fee, if you were to use Ethereum, is going to be a lot higher. But you could use that for, like, the most pristine client. Who knows, right? Who want to buy your art from the most pristine, the most expensive chain out there. But XRP, could be for the peasant out here, like myself. I'm just joking, you guys. But yeah, so the warn is it's coming October 3rd that we are going to see. I understand, a lot of craziness might ensue. I don't know. Again, I don't even. Well, okay. Let me tell you guys this. I don't have any calls right now. I sold for a little bit of profit when it run up to 27. So I'm in profit. So you know me. If I have some profit in my call, I'm not gonna hold it forever. I don't care. If you think it's gonna go up, if I think it's gonna go up from 32, reason being is that IV could be dropped dramatically. So we don't know. Like even if it hits that particular amount, you're not going to make much because IV is determined by the market maker as well, right? It could drive the price of the option so low that you're not even making any money. Okay. Now, as warned, I don't think it's priced based on the volatility or the IV nature of things. So whether it's going to be crushed by the IV, I don't know. Like that could also be the possibility that they might just like, oh, this one just doesn't, it's not worth anything, right? Again, that could also be possible. I don't know because I've never received any warn in my whole life. So this would be the first time. So I'm learning for sure. Let's see. So with this, I truly think that we're gonna reach 52, 32, and then these bondholders gonna exercise. It's gonna dilute, exercise, and then they're gonna immediately sell it. 52, 32 again because they don't believe in it or whatever, or they just keep the bond convertible notes going and just sell the bond for or the warrant for the profit, and then they don't care anymore, right? Whether it's going down or not, they're gonna get their money back anyway. So they are able to kind of benefit from the warrant being issued to them and the possibility of the upside too, right? So it's beneficial for sure. Now I don't know if it's beneficial for them to convert into share or just hold it for the bond aspect of thing. I don't know how enticing that is for them. I'm sure again, win-win for sure. Win-win. Still speculating whether the NFT marketplace is gonna come back, but I think the digital power pack is kind of substituting that right now, and is much better idea than NFT at the moment. So I think it gives you much more of an engagement than the other one. All right, you guys. I feel like I'm babbling too much here. But anyway, so GameStop has posted something that is curious to me. And if you read this through, you could see like some big highlights over here. Perhaps this is a hint, I don't know, that or a jab of some sort, like we win we won. That you see like a extremely serious recommendation, right? A binding, okay, an official binding and serious recommendation. We're being serious about this, right? So maybe this is the hint that hey, don't visit any GameStop application, meaning like don't do anything crazy with GameStop. Okay, share perhaps this Friday, because it's important. I don't know. Maybe it starts then. Who knows? A perfect storm of hype surrounding several game. But I think again a perfect storm. I've always thought about that. That it needs a condition in which maybe again this Friday we're gonna see board of director are buying. Perhaps, who knows? Buying more shares. Is there a blackout window already? Like they already passed, right? When was September 9th, yeah. So I think the window for the board to buy the shares after earnings is open. So maybe that's what they're alluding to. Again, I'm just like deciphering this my own opinion, okay? Like don't go out there and bet the house on GameStop here because you think that. You can if you want to, you know, that's your own your own endeavor. Let me see. So, and then excessive line, total depletion of inventory, right? No more shares to cover. Make no warranty, express or implied. Fine parking. I don't know what that means. Acquired the product with a have a really great time. Who knows? But anyway, so and then if you read the footnote right down here, I hope you could see it. On the footnote, it says you lost the game. So I think just a signal. Who knows? Or it's just again a very funny thing for engagement, which is pretty smart, I think. With the pricing and all that stuff. Again, this is just like a business as usual type of deal, but very encouraging to see GameStop been covered in the media, a shift of tone. You could probably see one article saying that GameStop is worth $100 or something like that, 120. Like I've been saying for the last couple of earnings ago, that eventually they're gonna bring somebody or starting to cover GameStop in a good light, because that's not good for them, right? It's not good for them not to cover GameStop and to ignore GameStop now that it's becoming more profitable, revenues going up, and people are starting to pay attention to it. I mean, if you analysts are not covering GameStop now, you are missing out. Like you're risking people who are like, on the sideline, never thought anything about GameStop, having a second thought on why you're not covering GameStop, or why are you not telling me about this type thing, right? So their client might be pushing them. It's like, hey, I've noticed, like, my kids are talking about this. Why are you not adding to my portfolio? What's happening, right? And so again, that could cause like suspicious, like from their own client. Perhaps they do want to participate in this quote unquote highly speculative play over here. Or again, yeah, I'm telling you, they're gonna be forced to talk about GameStop right now. And when they do, I know they probably again poop and scooping this for the last couple of years here. Okay, they're not dummies. They know exactly where GameStop is going to be. Why do you think the institutional ownership is increasing? Like, no brainer, right? Okay, is there any more increase? I wonder. Okay, not much. Still 46. Oh, that's curious. 666, okay. And then, okay, so you have 27 short only people. Again, like a very handful amount of people, like not even the whole entire market here. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. Anywho, you guys, I think I am pooped out already. I feel like I need to eat. That's why, like, I'm so hungry right now. Okay, I think that's all, you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys have some good information. not much, just more like an encouragement type things. Like, yeah, the world might end tomorrow, but just be kind to another. Like, I mean, like, don't be, I don't know, in spite of like all of this chaotic thing. I feel so tired sometimes. Like, why am I listening to a lot of like debates and all that stuff? So, but those are pretty entertaining sometimes to hear both sides of different perspective. And I just feel like sometimes, you know, the loudest mouth will always be pushed out on both sides here. I'm talking about, and so even, you know, with Jimmy, you could see a lot of people who are very bullish, like I'm including in that too. We'll talk so much good things about GameStop and not enough about negative, right? And then you have the other end, only focus on the negative and never talk enough about the positive. And so I think, you know, it's worth to at least take some time to stay in the middle sometime. Yes, have your own point of view, have your own stand, but it's also important to hear different point of view, to where, hey, you might be wrong on your stance there. So anyway, I don't know why I go off tangent, but yeah, I will let you guys go. But anyway, thank you so much if you're still here. I don't know how many people are still here, but also too, I hope you have been enjoying some of these songs. I've been wanting to make a few more songs, but I don't know. Like, if you guys, any of you guys want to, me to write any songs. Again, this is AI. I'm not writing these. I just put in the prompt, and there you go. There's the song. But the prompt is my idea, obviously. Like, and then I could kind of change a few things here and there on the lyrics. But the majority of it is AI. But yeah, I've been enjoying these songs, and I hope you enjoy it too. Okay. I will let you guys go, and I will see you, and we'll leave you with a few songs.
Bitcoin's falling, screens are flashing red. Panic sellers losing what they've bled. But I'm not running, I won't lose my head. Standing tall while others flee instead. Online writers cry their hearts out loud. Unrealized loss is a fearful crowd. But I'm not joining their hysterical sound. I'll ride this wave and stay unbound. I'm going against the grain. Won't let that panic be my chain. When others sell, I remain in this financial hurricane. Don't follow blindly, think for yourself. Your strategy's not found on a shelf. Be the outlier, break from the norm. Weather this crypto storm. Assignment clear, my design is set. I'm not a sheep in this betting bed. While they're all fleeing, I'll double down. Opportunity wears volatility's crown. The crowd runs wild, but I stand my ground. In chaos, true wisdom can be found. I'm going against the rain. roller coaster I refuse to lose. When Bitcoin drops, I'll still cruise. 'Cause panic's a game I refuse to use. Wall Street keeps calling GME too high. Their old math fails to justify. No meme stock dream, just a brand new fight. Systems too slow, stuck in hindsight. Their models lie blind to the light. Risk engines hot in the night. Not overpriced, just unseen right. Like stars too bright for their sight. The game has changed, they stay the same. New rules blazing digital flame. Algorithms crash when the future's near. Short sellers break, but the hands stay clear. The data breathes not some dead old shard. A movement paints with a bleeding heart. Their models lie blind to the light. Risk engines hot in the night. Not overpriced, just unseen right.